Your happiest memory.
A childhood growing up, spending lots of time on a lake. I was brought up in Zimbabwe, staying on a houseboat on the lake, doing lots of water skiing, spending time with families and friends.
Your dream job as a kid.
I was always going to be a pediatrician. That was from a very early age. I was going to be a pediatrician. I did medicine, but not quite the pediatrics route.
The best advice you ever got.
Is treat people with respect. It sounds basic, but that's really the foundation.
The biggest risk you've ever taken.
Moving to Canada from South Africa at just below the age of 50, with no specific plans when I got here other than to settle and find a job.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
To connect more closely with people earlier. It takes me a while to get to know people and for people to understand me. So I think that would help me enormously if I could do that, is form immediate connections with people.
Your weakness or your kryptonite?
People tell me I come across as austere. It's not the case, but I do know that is a weakness that I've tried to work on throughout my career.
Your wildest aspiration?
To sort out the healthcare system in Canada and internationally before the end of my career, or at least to play some small part in that, of a better healthcare system that could better provide for its citizens.
Your biggest fear?
I have an irrational fear of drowning. I'm a good swimmer, but I have an irrational fear of drowning. So
and you grew up in around water.
As I say, I have an irrational fear of drowning, and as I say, I swim, and it's not a problem. Professionally, my biggest fear would be not making a difference, not being, or someone looking back to think could have done better. Someone saying that I'd made big mistakes.
How would you want to be remembered?
Someone that seemed to be kind, helpful, and made a difference. And I know, again, those all sound like cliches, but I think when we look back on what we've done, we'd like people to look back on us in a way that they feel that we made a difference and that they look back on it fondly.
One behavior that has served you well.
I do have an ability to remain calm in circumstances that would not necessarily dictate that I should. And, having worked in trauma surgery for a long time, I suppose that might have been either what led me there or helped me do that.
One habit or behavior that you are trying to change.
Oh, I have a terrible, terrible habit. I doodle terribly. All the time. So I'm surrounded by doodles, and every year I tell myself I'm going to stop.
Your favorite holiday destination?
Italy, undoubtedly. I like the people, the countryside, and I'm a vegetarian. The food suits me perfectly, so Italy, undoubtedly.
One book everyone should read.
A lot of books have made an impact on me. From a leadership perspective, I like the idea of reading lots of books because you can take away from each book what resonates with you. So, I've read Good to Great, which I suppose was the one that stands out for me because it gave me a good framework. But I do think, these days, for example, books on resilience are more important than those frameworks. More personally, and to do with my sort of more professional life, is Being Mortal. I think is very important when you're working in the healthcare system to have an understanding of some of the principles that are outlined in that book. And then sort of more personally is a book called Religion for Atheists by Alain de Botton. I don't know whether you've read it. It's a wonderful book that really just shows the value of religion irrespective of your faith. There's so many positive things to religion, whether you believe or not, aspects that can be taken. So it not only gives you that framework, but it also shows you, gives you more insight into other religions and the tolerance we all need.
Now I'm going to call out a word and you tell me what each word means to you in one sentence. Leadership.
The ability to work with a team to a common goal.
Physician.
I would like to think healer, but I think what I should say is part of a team, because it really is so much more than just a physician doing something, so an integral part of a team, of a healing team.
CEO.
Again, gets back to leader, which really is the ability to work with a team to get them to see a common vision and work towards that vision.
Immigrant.
Risk taker, and in my particular case, great happiness.
Dreams.
Things that you have to have in order to keep you going. You need to have those in order to actually give you that next destination.
Purpose.
Absolutely critical to keep you going every day.
Vision.
The true North Star. Where do you want to take yourself personally and professionally? You've got to be able to have that to check back against when in times of uncertainty.
Success.
When you are happy and successful and those around you are able to also be part of that.
Happiness.
Being able to achieve your goals and get great balance.
Technology.
Enabler, multiplier, but not without its risks.
Team.
Group of people working towards a common goal and having fun doing it.
Money.
Important enough for the things that we need to sustain ourselves. I think we all attach too much importance to it, but there's no doubt it plays an important role in people's lives.
Legacy.
Something that you want to be remembered for. and it has to be something specific.
What is the greatest lesson you've learned in your leadership and life journey?
I suppose the greatest lesson is that I'm only one part of a successful team. When you train as a doctor, you often are trained to think that you are the person that's going to be the successful person. My leadership role has taught me that I'm actually just a part of that.